Yo, what is up, everybody? And today we're here back with another video of the First Ascendant patch notes 1.3.25 update of April 16th. This we are very, very early. And if my mic does sound a little bit different, we are on a new mic. Really like a new mic, more of like my phone mic because I had to record this right here and now so I wouldn't be late. But that's beside the point. We're going to go ahead and dive into these patch notes. If you guys love the video and would love to see more of what I do, because we are trying to hit 250 subscribers and followers on Twitch or YouTube. If we do that, we are 200 more followers and subscribers away from trying to get a affiliate partner for the First Ascendant. So it'd be very, very helpful if you guys drop the follow or drop the like subscribed and stuff like that. It'd be so appreciative, and it'll help me make the channel grow and give me more motivation to make videos for you guys. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, now the first thing that we have for the First Ascendant patch notes, we have the Onslaught mode. Remember, this mode is still in beta, so if you see any glitches or bugs or something like that, you would go and just wait or go tell TFD or something like that, contact or whatever. But this mode is still in beta. Basically, this is a mode where it's cooperative based wave defense mode where you hold back advancing monsters using currency acquired during combat to place turns, barricades, and enhance your battle capabilities by selecting abilities. I'll be having some background gameplay in the background of this new Onslaught mode. I think I'll be running it private just so I can get a full-fledged feel of how it is. You have for stage 1, you have 7 waves. For stage 2, it's 10 waves, and for stage 3, it's another 10 waves. To advance to the next one, you must complete the stage 1 in order to proceed. You have a lot of these rewards up in here. The rewards aren't really that much, but you do get superconductive foil for your Descendant, for your ancestor modules. You also get ancestor modules for every single stage you complete. So if you complete stage 1, you get the ancestor modules. You also have your weekly bonies, your weekly bonuses for the Onslaught mode. You complete it 4 times and you get the ancestor modules for every time, just like the infiltration operation. And moving on, for trigger modules, we got 2 new trigger modules have been added. We have fire cooling. It says when inflicting frostbite with a global dot type skill or projectiles type skill, decreases the remaining cooldown of firing enhancement type skills. Gash. When towing a target being hit by a global dot type skill or a piercing projectile type skill, deals damage and inflicts gash on the enemy. Damage is affected by equipped reactors, attributes, and arcane types. This is really good because this can be used on like anybody, like I think Blair, maybe Viessa, maybe I think Freyna, because hers is a dot type global skill and it's a projectile, so this might be really good. I think firing cooling is really good because honestly, dude, we need more. It says when inflicting frostbite, so this might be for Viessa. We also have the new Colossus boss, Stormhanger. This will be rotated out with something else in the future. I don't know what yet. Moving on, we have some Descendant rebalancing / improvements. This is for Nell. For her default skill, gravitonic reversal, her cooldown has been lowered from 25 seconds to about 10 seconds. That is really good because she needs to pop her abilities in order for them to work pretty well. For this second one, we have Viessa / Ultimate Viessa. We have adjusted the performance of the following skills. For her common, added motion canceling to all skills. For her Ice Spear, her cooldown has been lowered from 15 seconds to, increased from 15 seconds to 30 seconds. Her projectile renamed Projectile Ice Spear, duration is 8 seconds. Explosion damage range from 1.5 meters to 3.3 meters in total. Damage intervals of 0.8 seconds. Ice Shackle increase. Cooldown against same target 0.25 seconds. And Ice Explosion damage skill power times 1707.5%. We also have an increase in damage range from 5-meter radius. For her max expandable range is 250. For her duration, it's 2 seconds. For her cooldown, it's been increased by 7 seconds to 8 seconds, and her MP cost is 22, has been lowered from 22 to 20 for her Frost Shard. For her projectile, it has been increased from 1,133.2% modifier to 1,850.5% modifier. Then we also have her damage skill power for her modifier. For her projectile, it's the exact same thing. For her other one that I just read previously, for her ice damage, for her damage increase per ice shackle stage is 60%. They increased the explosion damage range from 3.5 meters to 4.5 meters. For her ice shackle increase, damage stage 2 is decreased to stage 1. For her cooldown against the same target is 0.25 meters. This is really good because her abilities kind of act like Freyna's, so you need that duration for ice shackle just so you can apply the status effect just a tad bit more faster. You also have for her Ice Road, her contact at stage 2 it's been lowered down to about stage 1. Same thing with the cooldown against the same target is 0.25 seconds. For her Cold Snap, for her basic info, for her cooldown has been increased to 20 seconds to 22 seconds. For her Chill, damage skill power times modifier has been increased to 6,589.9% to 8,666.6%. For her Ice Shackle increase on damage, stage 2 has been increased to stage 4. So as soon as you apply Cold Snap, it will be on stage 4 already. Same thing with the against same target for 0.25 seconds. For her Blizzard has been increased by 50 seconds to about 60 seconds. For her NP cost has been increased from 32 to 35. For her duration for her Blizzard has been increased from 6 seconds to 8 seconds, so Blizzard could last a little bit longer. From her continuous damage, from her skill power times damage modifier has been increased from 2,383.1% to 2,839.8%. For her explosion damage skill power times modifier has been increased from 4,538.2% to 5,425.8%. For her ice explosion damage increase has been increased to 20%. For her Ice Shackle increase on damage, on continuous damage, has been lowered from stage 3 to stage 1, so it should apply from there. For her Transcendent module, she has a new one called Glacial Cloud. For her, it has been reworked, so it is new. They changed the skill name from Frost Shard to Ice Blade. Basically, what it does, it changes the base skill structure. When using skill, fires Ice Blade forward, deals damage to target hit by the Ice Blade. If the target hit by the Ice Blade has Ice Shackle at stage 4, it deals powerful explosion damage and removes all Ice Shackle effects. For her for the basic info, it has a stack of 3. Cooldown stack is 22 seconds. MP cost is 25. Her projectile for her skill times damage modifier is 705.9%. On explosion is 3,446.4%. On her damage interval, it's a 0.25%. For her explosion damage range, it's a 5.0 meter radius. For her expandable range is 250. For her projectile speed, it's a 0%. For her on contact stage 1, cooldown is the same for 0.25 seconds. For her Glacial Cloud, it says when using skill, fires a blizzard forward. The blizzard deals damage at damage intervals as it passes. For it's basically the same thing. Nothing has been increased here. For her Transcendent module, Hypothermia, changed the default skill structure to match the modified skill passive. Increase the max stage count from the existing max of the stage 4 to stage 30. So basically, it can increase in stage 2, stage 4 to stage 30, which is freaking amazing. So for her Transcendent module, Cold Snap Watch increased the skill effect range from 55 seconds to 80 seconds. Increase the cooldown from 15 seconds to 18 seconds. Increase the skill modifier from 1,353.6% to 1,792.4%, and the cooldown for the 0.25 seconds. For her cold-bloodedness module, the only thing that got changed was the MP cost from 24 to 15, duration 20 seconds to 15, skill power increase from 5% to 15%, cooldown reduction from 20 to 25%. For her Frost Bullet module, changed the Transcendent module name from Cold Cohesion to Frost Bullet, changed the arcane types of all the skills from Fusion to Tech, from the Ice Spears, changed the default skill structure to match the modified skill passive, Ice Explosion. Ice Explosion skill power and skill modifier increase from 473.9%. It doesn't seem like they changed it, so they kept it the same. For, I think, everything else, it gives more fire attack increase, more duration, cooldown, and MP cost is still the same. So nothing was changed here for the Frost Bullet. They just changed some of the arcane type and the name from it as well. For her Absolute Zero module, changed the default skill structure to match the modified passive skill again to Frostbite. For her duration for the Absolute Zero, because this Transcendent module is more so used in, like, it's more common used than anything else that VSA has gotten. So I'm glad they're changing up all her modules so people have more opportunities and more build to skill when you're building things for VSA. Anyway, for her duration, they increased it from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. They increased her cooldown from 7 seconds to 8 seconds. They also increased her skill power times modifier from 1,176.2% to 2,076.6%. For her explosion damage, skill power times modifier has been increased. The same thing about for her damage. For her explosion damage range from 3.5 meters to 4.5 meters. For her frostbite duration, 2 seconds to 3. Continuous damage skill increased from 334.7% to 381.6%. Duration for the frostbite is 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Cold snap has been increased from 20 to 22. Damage skill modifier has been increased from 6,589.9% to 8,861.3%. For her frostbite duration has been increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. For her blizzard, for her basic info, has been increased from 50 seconds to 60 seconds. For MP cost, 32 to 35. Her duration for her blizzard, 6 seconds to 8 seconds. For her continuous damage, for her skill power times modifier, has been increased from 2,383.1% to 3,387.7%. For her explosion damage, skill power times modifier has been increased from 4,538.2% to 6,490.9%. For her frostbite duration has been increased to 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Moving on, we also have Harris. We actually haven't had any Harris buffs, so I'm kind of excited to read this. We also have her default skill of her internal toxin control, her best condition duration for 8 seconds to 14 seconds. Crushing charge has been lowered from her damage range from 2.2 meters times 2.2 meters to 28.8 meters. For her traction range from 500 has been increased to 636. For her third strike damage has been increased to 3,927.4% to 4,555.7%. For her damage increase of max HP, max damage increase has been increased by 126%. For her sight intrusion, for her skill damage, 4,100.7. Skill damage has been increased from 4,101.7% to 4,492%. Damage increase for her max HP has been the same. Skill continuous damage has been increased from 781% to 1,093.4%. Same thing with the max damage increase. For her skill damage increase from 6,006.1% to 7,700. 682%. So she's getting some really good increases. The same thing with the explosion damage. She's getting some really good increases for her whatchamacallit, for her damage itself. Because if you really think about it, her tick damage in this game is probably stronger than Freyna's. I remember I was playing with my friend and she uses Harris, and her damage, continuous damage for her tick damage was like in the millions, and that is really crazy even for a Descendant like that. For her focus supervision time has been increased for her duration from 8 seconds to 16 seconds, and that toxic optimization firearm attack increase from 100% to firearm explosion attack increase from 100%. So they basically just increased her fire attack and explosive from there. From her crushing focus duration from 3 seconds to 16 seconds, and for her designated danger zone 8 seconds has been increased, as well as her firearm explosive, her damage multiplier, and her damage multiplier for max HP plus max shield, because mind you, she is also a shield type Descendant and a HP Descendant. For her max damage multiplier is 222%. For Sharon, she didn't really get any, well, not saying any, but she only got 2 buffs for her cutoff beam. Her increase of damage has been increased from 2,681% to 4,487.7%. For her Transcendent module, Release Cutting Force has been increased damage from 1,799% to 3,498%. And moving on, we also have synchronization value. I feel like I've already explained this in my last patch notes. I said that the lower the synchronization value, the higher your master rank ancestor module is going to be. The higher the ancestor module, the higher the value is, the lower the ancestor modules you're going to get. So I'm just going to put that on screen for you guys to look at. For the base stats, there were some increased base HP and shield for Descendants with low base HP and shield. I'm going to go ahead and put that up on the screen right here. We have some good ones. I see Ultimate Bunny in here. I see Ultimate Viessa. Bunny for sure needed some more HP because she was very glass cannon, so she might be a strength type character. Right now, I'm just going to put that on the screen for you guys to look at. Moving on, we also have a new event called SMO's Dice Run. They added the Dice Run, SMO Dice Run, where you roll the dice and acquire rewards based on where you landed. So basically, this is like an entire game board. I'm going to put a picture that they have on the patch notes of what it looks like. So basically, how to get more rolls on the dice is you just complete your dailies and stuff, and that will give you more dice rolls as the event goes on. We also have some Season 3, Episode 3 Onslaught Mode Beta Twitch drops. I'll leave a link in the description about what the Twitch drops are. We also have some content improvements. Increase the acquisition chance of Ancestor Module loot as mission completion reward through other infiltration support in the infiltration operation Hard Ancient Plains from 5% to 10%. This is good because now we can actually go farm ancestor modules in the acquisition outside of infiltration operations. We also have some equipment and module improvement of unique abilities and these ultimate weapons. We have the Piercing Light. They have an ability change. When hitting an enemy while aiming, places a target of light at the point of impact. On hit with target of light, dispels and chain explosion are triggered. Chain explosion deals damage to enemies behind the target of light, increases chain explosion damage proportional to the enemies to the number of targets hit. Sigavor's Proof. When aiming, fires a sticky bomb. The launched bomb attaches to the enemy and automatically explodes after a certain period of time. When disengaged aiming, all attached bombs explode. All attached bombs explode simultaneously, even if the time has not even elapsed yet. Increase sticky bomb damage proportional to the number of sticky bombs attached. Increase the sticky bomb's damage the more targets are hit by this explosion. Sticky bomb inflicts the thermal burn to targets at explosion. We have the Exterminator. When holding, automatically designates all targets on the screen. When firing, launched explosive rounds at enemy targets. Explosive rounds trigger multi-hits. Explosive rounds deal additional damage to specialized enemies, like the Caprice Awl of Razor Claw and the Armored Caprice of Steel Pincer, and are even more effective against cluster sacks, cluster tunnels, and assault ships. Further improvement of the unique ability of the ultimate weapon, Wave of Light, they also increased the R-roll damage of fire damage times 145% to a maximum of 200%. That is a giant increase for the Wave of Light. They added the chance to recover impact rounds when defeating an enemy with the R-roll, trigger rate 50%, and recovery on enemy defeat 4 rounds. So basically, trigger rate for the chance to recover impact rounds is 4 rounds after. We also have some bug fixes with Descendant Sharon. They fixed an issue when repeatedly pressing the active camouflage skill and flash short sword would sometimes be recognized as holding down the skill input. Also fixed an issue where when using the area suppression skill on the assassination target triggered additional damage not listed in the tooltips. Also have equipment and module bug fixes, added missing reactor power related text to the tooltip of the 8 trigger modules, affected modules, infected weapon, ground eruption, kill chain, target, tactical strike, focus and expansion, icebreaker and tactical disruption, and bloody deployment. Added text, the damage is affected by the equipped reactor attribute and arcane types. We have some content bug fixes. Fix an issue where acquiring a trigger module and answer module simultaneously cause the count to stack in the quest acquired modules. Fix an issue where some stage 10 missions in the Void Erosion Purge normal displayed a lower accelerate research value than what was actually applied. Fix an issue where voice lines played multiple times repeatedly during normal difficulty missions. We also have some monster improvement. The dash skill of the commander Abyss Scrap now deals damage on the landing rather than in midair. Fix an issue where the commander monster Dread Armor Commando would remain immune to damage after the shield was destroyed using the Descendant Dia Snowflake Clash skill upon entering phase 2. It's also some UI and UX improvements, and then some miscellaneous. Alright, and I think that will conclude the first Descendant patch notes 1.3.25. We actually have some very good ones in here. I'm glad the Descendants are getting more HP and more shields for their base forms, because holy, just putting HP modifiers was not it was not helping the Descendant because you just die faster. I'm also glad they gave Viessa some more fixes. I feel like next we might be getting maybe Esmo, because he has his own event. We actually might be getting Ultimate Esmo, excuse me, a little bit sooner, but who knows. We'll probably see that in like the next, but I'm super excited for what they might add in the newer April update, because they have an entire roadmap. So I'm super duper excited about what they're going to be bringing, and I'll be here to sit there and give you guys update. If you guys like the video and love what I put out and the content, make sure you guys drop a follow, drop a like, share with your friends and tell them about it. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
lot less than before.